Hey there, I'm Mr. Terry. I'm a high school history teacher. Welcome back to another History Teacher Reacts video. All right, a favorite of the channel, Starvharv, is back with another one of his videos translating the headlines of history badly. And in this video, he is covering the 19th century. So I'm all dressed up, ready to go, and I hope you are too. All right, the original video is down below. Make sure you're supporting him. He's still very much a growing channel that's getting a lot of support, but it's got to get much, much higher. All right, let's get started. Something we like to do here is try to figure out what you think the original headline was before it went into its bad translation. So have fun with that and put your comments down below.
I took Wikipedia's timeline of the 19th century and ran it through Google
All
Translate.
right, 1800s, baby.
With the worst translation.
All kinds of crap going down.
Was the result. 1801. Alexander Hamilton marched that night with the Confederate Army to New York City.
60 years before the Confederacy existed.
New York is that dangerous that they need an army just to get a newspaper. The Second World War in Latin and French by Abukir.
Second World War.
1802.
Apparently there was a Second World War.
Ended after World War.
Okay, so apparently there was a Second World War in 1800s. And what was the first one? Oh, like what I've not really advocated for, but brought up. Maybe we should go with the 7 Years' War is the First World War. Then 180, what are we at? Second World War? Yeah, I know about that.
It was written by Ludwig van Beethoven months ago. Beethoven. 1803. The war between England and France was again carried on. Then he returned to the Napoleonic.
He's back.
William
Y'all up on your he lore?
Described the Charlotte Dunn as the first working ship.
Yeah.
It's about time.
I mean, they wouldn't be talking about like steamships because those aren't around yet, but first working ship, like the first boat that could ever float. Not until the 1800s.
France bought the Louisiana territory in North America. It was nearly twice the size of the United States.
True.
The Pacific Ocean.
Well, I mean, going back to the actual size of it, yeah, when the United States ended up buying it from Napoleon, double the size of the United States, actually.
Later called Destiny, reached the western part
Is that true?
of the United States.
In any translation?
And also includes
Pacific.
The United States and Mexico.
Pacific means peaceful.
When was it called Destiny? I must have missed that. 1804. Accordingly, the steam engine was first used. I take morphine.
Go James Watt.
Okay. Beethoven's
the Industrial Revolution.
Third Symphony marks the beginning of the Middle Ages. Wow.
Okay. Well, was the song supposed to be something about the beginning of the Middle Ages? Because it's over by the 1800s, right? I mean, I don't know. When do you consider the Middle Ages over? A lot of people will say it's like the Renaissance, but like day-to-day life did not change for people. It really wasn't until largely the end of feudalism. So could you take it to like the French Revolution? What do you think about that?
1805, Game 3 in France. 1806, okay. Napoleon named his brother King of Naples. It was given to him by Joseph Bonaparte, the brother of Louis Bonaparte, King of Belgium. 1807.
Overload of his brain. He doesn't make his brother King of Spain, though.
UK, US attacks Slavic.
Oh, no.
The Treaty of Tilsit sent Napoleon into Eastern Europe. He became the last player of Borussia.
Borussia Dortmund?
Leaving Copenhagen, he took the ships of the Danish fleet. Humphrey
He did.
Davy destroyed potassium and sodium.
Oh, yes. Yeah, screw those.
Gone. The elements are gone.
Yeah, we don't need that, potassium and sodium. Actually, don't we need them to like, exist?
1808, the Gulf War. Participated. 1809, Napoleon accepted his son as Pope, Roman Empire.
Yes. All right, so we talking about like abolishing the Holy Roman Empire. Well, he becomes Pope, or not Pope, sorry, Emperor. Napoleon crowns himself there with, you know, Pope around and all that, but then abolishes the Holy Roman Empire. Goodbye, 100 or 1,000 years of fake empire.
Every time it's Rome. Pope Pius captured Napoleon and bound him to the River Aire. 1810.
Okay, there's a new one.
Took the floor.
Yo.
Doing like a dance routine.
Dude, I bet he's got some moves.
Britain has many economic problems.
True.
It was a bad year for Radet's party.
Who?
1814.
Who?
Elisha Collier founded the Rolling Stones.
Yeah. So that was the original group. So Mick Jagger and all that stuff. Nah, y'all came in later. You're not in the OG Rolling Stones. Okay. Goodbye.
1815. Europe can consolidate its power and strength at the Vienna Conference. The European side is trying to find out if this is true or not.
Congress of Vienna ended up changing Europe quite a bit. After Napoleon was defeated, basically there was this idea that Europe was so imbalanced when it came to powerful states versus smaller states. And in a way of like keeping France in check for the future was they redraw borders of Europe and pretty much surround France with bigger countries. What it ended up doing, though, is, as we know, when you start redrawing borders, that becomes problematic. You start bringing in people that don't want to be ruled by certain people. You get something like Austria-Hungary, for example, coming in. And then, we all know the problems with them trying to keep together their very diverse empire and leads to World War I and all that stuff. But I mean, I guess it kept France in check. They're not going to have another, well, I was going to say another Napoleon. There is another Napoleon, but not, another Napoleon.
It's probably not. Liberal forces and government have changed for the better. In 1914, okay. Peace began in England. 100 days.
Wait. Oh, okay. Okay.
Napoleon won the Battle of Waterloo.
No, he didn't.
Victory at the end of the...
Literally lost. It's where he gets captured and then exiled.
Napoleonic Wars. He won. GG. He's won. 1816. American freedom, not a DJ. Just in case you thought he was. 1817. A legal battle began in Florida.
Hey, War of 1812. It's going to be over, okay? I don't know. No one really wins that. Unless you're Canadian, they feel like they won that.
Prince Charles died shortly after his birthday.
Britain?
Oh, God.
Aw.
1818. Mary Shelley tells the story of Frankenstein. Pure freedom.
Great book.
1821.
Great book, by the way.
Destruction of Turks in Navarre.
Aww.
1823.
Rip.
After the Anglo-Burmese War, the British occupied Burma, now Africa.
It's 1800s, man. It's the new imperialism era, which is just going to get more aggressive as the Industrial Revolution goes on. Imperialism increased with the Industrial Revolution because it gave power to militaries to be able to overcome, larger numbers against native forces across the planet. So
1825.
It's going to get worse throughout this.
This is the 3rd day of December in Russia. It's the whole year.
Aw.
1826. After the last Russo-Persian War, Russia defeated the Persian Empire. Who will lose the game first? Persia.
No, not in hockey, though. I mean, the Russians are going to win
Extermination was banned in Ottoman Germany.
Oh, good.
Now, if anybody knows extermination, it's Ottomans and Germans.
There's plenty of extermination later.
1828, the Tasmanian War darkens Tasmania. Prime Minister Robert Peel decided to deny the freedoms of religion to British citizens, saying that the protections were weak.
Yeah.
1829.
No religion for anyone.
Who invented the first electric car?
Well, no one yet.
Who done it? Is it the second war between Russia and Turkey? Is it? 1830. Congress passed the...
And Ottoman Empire and Russia, they were rivals quite a bit there, around the Black Sea, especially. Russia was trying to become like a maritime power. And at first, they actually failed. Peter the Great, I believe, failed against the Ottoman Empire to get territory around the Black Sea. And then they saw more success later on with Catherine, when they are able to go into around the Black Sea and then take those territories.
Secession Act, which allowed Mesopotamian leaders east of the Mississippi to make peace with the natives. Are there any Mesopotamian leaders east of the Mississippi?
Yes. if you want to, consider west. Eventually, if you go west far enough, I guess you come back to Mesopotamia.
Greater Columbia was
the Ottoman Empire controlled it then.
The District of Columbia was replaced by the District of Columbia, now Panama. Ecuador and Venezuela? Question mark? You tell me.
Let's go into the Panama Canal crisis. This stuff used to be part of Colombia, and United States ended up supporting Panamanians, basically fighting for their independence from Colombia because the United States wanted to build the Panama Canal there and
in November,
the benefits, of course.
Poland rebelled against Russia. These are not. I told him.
It was under Catherine the Great where they partitioned Poland. Of course, the famous other partitioning of Poland's going to be in World War II, but the Russian Empire did that with Catherine the Great as well, as they were expanding further and further into Western Europe. Towards Western Europe.
Place in Yogyakarta and
Yogurt?
Jakarta, 1831.
Yogurt?
2 days after the terrorist attack on Nathaniel.
Oh no, Nathaniel.
And his associates in Southampton, Virginia.
Any Nathaniels in chat?
August 22nd. Charles Darwin's Greyhound mission. Dog. The Gauls attacked the Albans.
Oh, the Gauls are back? Wait. I thought Caesar destroyed them all. Did they come back? Have you heard about the massacre, really, of like the Gauls and how bad that actually was? Like millions, don't they think, died from Caesar?
First king of Greece was killed by Napoleon. Didn't he die?
Oh,
Did he die? Cherokee
blew his face off with a cannon.
John Ross is Cherokee and Irish, Georgian American. He did one of those like 23andMe's. He just found out. He defended the rights and freedom of Cherokee
defends the rights of every man.
5 million Irish died.
Oh,
State of America.
We're gonna have Irish potato famine.
Slavery was abolished in England. Thanks be to God.
Right.
1834.
True, right?
He became a prisoner under British law.
You should know that a lot of those countries, I mean, there's a lot of countries that abolished slavery before the British, but of a lot of those states that had been doing transatlantic trade, European states, they were early on in that. So kept going on with other countries.
Who knows? 1836, when Samuel Colt approached the woman and pulled a gun. Colt Patterson said nothing and shot her 6 times.
Whoa!
What? Instead of inventing the revolver or popularizing the revolver, he just shot a woman with it.
That's not how you do it, Colt.
1837, to the people. Queen Victoria was the most powerful monarch in England.
True.
Complete.
I mean, she's the only one, but would you say she was the most powerful monarch in English history? Probably make an argument, right? I mean, empire was as big as it ever was.
Money is an intellectual property. Don't be copyright infringing on my money. 1838, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica fought each other during the American Civil War. Now that is an American Civil War. 1830.
That's some good old kind of like Monroe Doctrine, American imperialism in Latin America at that time. U.S. is all up in there. U.S. basically said, hey, we'll stay out. Hey, other imperial nations, you stay out of the Western Hemisphere. We'll stay out of the Eastern Hemisphere.
9. France after the First and Second Opium Wars. The Qing dynasty destroyed
Except that was against England.
It's just gone. The United States...
They destroyed them. It was the other way around. Qing dynasty in control of China. The English defeated them when China was like, hey, we're sick of all these people getting addicted. We're banning the opium trade. Or we're going to enforce the ban on opium trade. Britain's like, nah, dude, like, what's the number? Like 1/5 of their income of Britain was made off of drug sales pretty much at that time.
On trade and concessions with China.
I forget the exact fraction, but it's like
so
crazy though.
Well, it's like amazing.
Oh.
1841, Richard turns the word dinosaur into a word for Owen.
Seems legit.
Who's Owen? William Henry Harrison, the first president of the United States, died. 1844, the grandfather.
First president, I mean, to die, I guess it would say,
meets
in office.
Perseus and tells the king
in office?
Why. Why? What God has revealed to the world. He is considered the leader of the Baha'u'llah and the founder of the Baha'i faith. Dream.
I didn't know he did that.
Thousands of people are waiting for the coming of Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. His recovery was called.
Those stories are always interesting. You ever hear those from different religious groups around the world who try to predict like second comings or like end of days and stuff like that? That was always interesting to trace. And then I'm usually fascinated too when those things like come and go and then what they say in response. Like, we got the numbers wrong, or like it happened, but we just couldn't see it, or you know what I mean? All right. He has to do with
thousands of people are waiting for the coming of
the
Jesus
Great Depression.
Christ. His recovery was called the Great Depression. On May 24th, the world's first telegraph between East Timor and the United States. Where else would the world's first telegraph be?
Oh, telegraph lines then.
What is God doing?
That going to East Timor. Okay.
It's a very like Christian faith to this article. Nautilus is here.
It's a very Christian
Mr.
century.
Wang signed an agreement between the United States and China. Who's Mr. Wang?
He's right there. You found him.
1846, Oregon is the United States.
Oh.
Oregon signed the Treaty of Vienna.
Oh,
Parts of Idaho and Wyoming and Montana ceded to the United States. It's all Oregon now. After the Mexican-American War, Wilmot was criticized in the West for ending slavery.
there's some interesting parts of that. So there was interesting things that has to do with, we could tie this to Texas. Texas was part of Mexico and had allowed American settlers to come in. There was some stipulations for that, though. So there was things like renounce your American citizenship, basically become a Catholic, and also no slaves because Mexico banned slavery. But all that stuff, all those things that were part of those stipulations, were all violated. And when they tried to enforce it, you end up getting Texas Revolution, and then eventually after that, you get the Mexican-American War. And so anyway, some dominoes there.
1847. Samuel Wise told Enac to wash his hands so he wouldn't be questioned. What kind of questions are going on here?
He doesn't wash his hands when he cooks the
got on his
food.
hands? John of the Air wrote the Bronte Sisters.
Oh, okay.
1848. It can be found in the communist language.
Oh,
In 1848, something new happened in Europe. Good people run away.
1848 was pretty
Why
crappy,
won't they
though.
tell us? 1849,
Warfare.
the first air mission was launched with 200 missiles
No.
on a message to the Vulcan Air Force.
No. Well, I think we're crossing Star Trek.
200
future,
missiles on a message
when the Vulcans
to the
show up.
Vulcan Air Force.
Yeah, I don't think so.
The Constitution of the Roman Republic was the first law which established the death penalty. The first
No.
amendment to the Roman Republic
No.
Constitution.
Some of these are interesting because sometimes it's just the exact opposite of whatever they say. Like the exact opposite. Just flip it. Just say they did do this thing.
There are seat belts and airbags.
Oh, before cars? Okay.
1850, the Ice Age is over.
Yeah, finally.
1851.
We had little ice ages here and there.
1854.
Just Australia.
Moved to avoid wires and light.
True.
1856.
To be safe.
The first oil was produced in Romania.
that true?
Neanderthals know the time.
Oh,
1857.
they're still around in Romania?
1857.
Ah, Sepoy.
British Empire closes the east.
Interesting. I'm trying to think of other stuff. Yeah, I get Sepoy Rebellion and all that, but British Empire closes the East. Wonder what they're trying to say there. And if it has to do with India, though. Basically, what the British did is after the rebellion, the British will rule directly. The British Crown will rule directly over India. They used to use, I mean, you can kind of call them puppets, but like it's the British Raj, and you have basically these leaders that pretty much do the bidding of the British, right? They rule indirectly, and then after the rebellion, the British said, "Nope, we are ruling you directly," and did so for the next 90 years.
Joseph Whitworth invented the first gun. What about the gun that was used to shoot the woman? What was that? The origin of seeds, Charles Darwin.
They'll have to figure that one out, I guess.
It's origin of species, but it's just about seeds. How do seeds work? 1861.
They just do.
The American Civil War between the Confederate and Confederate armies.
Oh, the two Confederate armies?
1862.
This is when the war
It
starts.
was done with horses. France is the first country in South Asia.
Oh.
True. 1863.
They moved?
The President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, declared his independence on September 22nd. He's gone.
Trying to think. September 20. No, it can't be Emancipation Proclamation. It would take an effect.
Declared his independence on September 22nd.
I wonder what that one specifically is referring to.
Maltese Grass Day painting is
know.
truly
What do you think?
amazing. All right. 1864, March 21st. Liar. The Chincha War was an attempt to invade the American colonies of southern Spain. Spain has lost so bad that they're now being colonized. 1865, America reinvents itself. 1860.
Maybe? Sorry, my dog. Probably just heard him hack up. End of the Civil War in 1865. It split. They like kind of rebuilt themselves, I guess. You kind of go for that.
After the Prussian-Austrian War, the German alliance collapsed, leaving Germany in the north and Hungary in the south.
I'm in danger.
Alfred Nobel is the inventor of sulfur. He just invented sulfur. Isn't that
dynamite
reoccurring? Can he claim this?
Bit of dynamite.
1878, he traveled around the world.
He does. He's everywhere.
1868, congratulations. The famous Cro-Magnons. Where's Cro-Magnons? No, it's Cro-Magnons now.
We found some.
Do you know
are they in Romania too?
1870, the Franco-Prussian War unites Germany and Italy. Both kingdoms fell in Gaul.
Still using Gaul for
was
France.
Designed by Erasmus Mulling Hansen.
Maybe they should.
Was the first commercial ball.
Oh.
What? They didn't have balls before that. 1871. Otto
Only
von
wheels,
Bismarck
two-dimensional.
challenged the interest of the Catholic Church during the Civil War in Germany. Industrial Revolution 2. Finally. Japan's feudal...
The Second Industrial Revolution. Usually people consider the Second Industrial Revolution like the 1880s, though. That's when you see like steam engines replaced with like combustion engines and iron, steel, instead of iron in some places. A transition to electricity instead of oil lighting, that kind of stuff.
Collapsed. Henry Morton meets Stanley Davis.
Meiji Restoration is going to be going down here.
Japan's feudal system collapsed.
Yeah. End of the samurai. Okay. And the beginning, or the reinstating, I guess you would say, of the birth of the Japanese Empire. The shogun and basically the whole samurai feudal class dies in a civil war that ends up putting the emperor back into power, and they start modernizing and innovating and start invading stuff eventually.
Henry Morton
heading over to Korea and
Stanley
stuff.
David. Lake Tanganyika is home to crocodiles.
Oh, is that true?
In 1873, the panic began.
It's
you
true.
could see yellow and blue shirts.
Yeah.
True.
They were invented.
War began in the blood of Aka.
It's
It's violent. It's like Elden Ring law.
Oh.
1876, Queen Victoria became Miss India.
What's that part for? I told you about them taking over.
Richard Wagner's ring is the first sacred
India.
ring.
One ring to rule them all.
Henry McCarthy, later Billy the Kid, kills Franklin Cahill, the first black man.
Whoa!
Largest train
I didn't know he was
in the United
racist.
States.
Jeez.
Dead horse. Asphalt Monday is shown on Tuesday.
No. It got delayed by a day. No.
What is Asphalt Monday?
I like that one. That one's good. I like that.
Happy Asphalt Monday, everyone.
Yeah. You just appreciate asphalt.
Belgium was involved in the political
Oh God,
that
this
led
is
to
like
World War One.
that led to World War One. Okay. They're going to be invaded. We're going to be another like 30 something years. Hey, Belgium's going to start getting real brutal in Africa at this time.
True. 1881.
Already was getting there, but
Alexander the Great died.
that process is beginning.
The destruction of the Russian Empire has begun. Enjoy
2,500 years ago.
Guerilla di Toro. 3 Deep and a tank were discovered in Godalming, England.
Oh.
What is 3 Deep and a tank? Sounds
And
like
tanks?
a sitcom.
We're about 30 years away from tanks.
1883.
40 years on
The
that.
hat is ready. Krakatoa is the largest volcano in the world.
Is that when it blew? Krakatoa? I forget the year for that. Like the craziest explosion we have like in recorded history.
And the tallest tower built by Thomas Edison. He's taking credit for Krakatoa now. 1884, the effectiveness of the Berlin Wall appears. The European slave trade was encouraged abroad.
Much later.
The first electric car was built by Thomas Parker in Wolverhampton.
Is that right? No. Is it?
Nice. Hiram Maxis was the first man to write machine music. What is machine music? You
Like
listen to
a
machine
piano?
music at all?
Piano?
The singer began to beat the table and his clothes loudly. Okay, no it wasn't. 1886, the Statue of Liberty was created by Coca-Cola Java.
What? What the heck? What is this supposed to be? The French built the Statue of Liberty as kind of a sign of friendship and support from kind of like the anniversary of the Revolutionary War, which French were a huge part of that victory. So Coca-Cola. Wasn't Coca-Cola probably made around this time? Is it a little bit later? Coca-Cola might have been 19th century, like late.
1889, the mailing case. Prince Rudolph and Baroness Marie of Austria.
Okay.
In this story, the old man is killed. What a good story.
Poor guy.
1890. Today, salt is distributed through Europe and America. I still use the electric chair.
Oh, whoa.
Okay.
Is that when it was used? Is that like the first usage? I don't know the history of, obviously, of the electric chair. You know, during the battle with Edison and Tesla, when they were battling between like DC and AC, the big smear campaign by Edison on Tesla was that like AC power and was going to just like kill everybody. And there's a famous story of electrocuting that elephant that like Edison, like organized. Topsy or whatever it was. It was part of like a smear campaign to protect his form of electricity.
Vincent van Gogh died.
Is that when he died?
Sorry, Vincent van Gogh died.
Ugh.
I
love Van Gogh art. Probably my favorite.
After
artist.
The overthrow of Kaiser Wilhelm, German President Otto von Bismarck made a policy that opposed Bismarck's ideas and policies.
Yeah.
1891, Leo the 13th.
Bismarck didn't like Wilhelm, right? Didn't he? Wasn't he like trying to give him all this advice too, and gonna be like, "You're gonna be an idiot when you get like." Don't, I remember one of them, wasn't it? Like, don't get involved in the Balkans. It will be a mess, and then they go and get involved in the Balkans.
Maximus, apostle of God, defender of the first fair society.
Oh, okay.
1892, football stadium. Yeah. Fingerprint recognition is first used. What is your name?
Really?
What is it? Tell me. What's your date?
Then they started doing fingerprinting.
Maiden name. 1895.
Japan.
Dated in Japan during the first Sino-Japanese War.
Oh yeah, Sino-Japanese War.
1896.
That means it was Japan versus China. Japan versus China there. So, Japan had fought. They take over Korea. And then they also fight wars with China as well as Russia, and defeat China and Russia both in about a 10 to 15 year time period. Really kind of was a blow to Russia and to their ego, but it really kind of showed that like Japan was the real deal. They'd come out of their isolation after the opening of Japan, and then after the Meiji Restoration, and like they just kind of burst onto the world scene as like a military imperial empire.
The Athens Olympic Games are approaching.
Oh yeah, it was 1896.
Becquerel and Marie Curie.
First modern Olympics.
J.J. Thompson does not have an email address. If you want to get in touch, I'm sorry. 1897. In 1893, his life ended in a violent
He'll be back. He's always dying, and then he comes back.
He's always dying.
Yeah, he'll be
like
back.
World War II. He was dying constantly.
Yeah, he's
just
fine.
like, it must have enabled God.
He gets reincarnated.
1998. I also saw Zeppelin LZ.
Wait, is that when Zeppelins were?
New Chinese. Millennium War begins between liberals and conservatives in Colombia. The emperor intended to rule China for 11 days. Herbert Wells declares World War II.
Oh.
It's on now, boys.
They didn't get the memo though till 39.
How come he's allowed to do that?
1939.
99, British victory. I could sum up the 1800s pretty.
They probably won somewhere.
More than 1 million people died in Indiana. Damn.
Oh, Indiana.
1900. Humbert, king of Italy.
Umberto.
He invaded the 8 lands of China and took the field.
Oh,
That's
he's hungry.
That's the last thing that happened.
He's back. Yeah. The China field incident. All right, good stuff. Final thoughts before we head out. All right, I'll be interested to see your comments down below on what you thought of some of these translations, maybe what you think some of those translations were trying to do. I don't know, put your thoughts down below. Those are always, again, pretty funny. All right, again, best of luck to Starvharv. He's continuing this really fun format. I know it's been really fun for me to be able to comment those, and he's been very gracious and supportive of me talking about his videos and all that. So please support him. Again, original video link is down below. Go to this video if you had not seen this video yet. Make sure you go give it the view. Okay, get that up, and be sure to sub to the channel. All right, with that, we'll see y'all later. Bye.